But with the super rich, it's becoming a meme. Now we have Tom Perkins, net worth $8 billion, saying the richest 1% are so persecuted in America, they feel like Jews in Nazi Germany. Which is why, just to be safe, last week Tom built a panic room inside his mansion that's a full-size replica of Anne Frank's house. Is it really that hard out there for a pimp with $8 billion? You know, even when your shady financial tricks tanked the economy, nothing happened to any of you. Nobody went to jail. Nobody went broke. Justin Bieber didn't even egg your house. You just got richer while everybody else got poorer. The Oxfam committee released a report this year on global inequality, and the 85 richest people, 85, own more than the bottom 3.5 billion put together, which is half the planet. This is a real problem, and not just for when they go halvesies on a wedding present.
President come back from vacation, the first topic is the income inequality gap after he spent weeks in a hot tub.
He's right about that. I mean, I don't know how you could possibly deny. You know, it's interesting that when income inequality was this disparate as it is now, in the late 1800s, it led to a recession. In the 1920s, led to the Depression. In the late 90s and early 2000s, led to a recession. Then, of course, the Great Recession. All of it was when income inequality was at its peak.
I don't know, John. Isn't it better when, even though there's income inequality, when the rising...
have high corporate profits, when businesses can be doing so well,
right,
but the workers don't necessarily share in that prosperity?
Well, this has been at least a 3-decade-long trend. Now, there are a whole bunch of reasons for that. Some of it has to do with technology and entire sectors being eliminated. Travel agents, bank tellers, a lot of middle management. A lot of it has to do with globalization. The rest of the world's catching up. Post-World War II, we had just some enormous structural advantages because our competitors had been devastated by war. And we had also made investments that put us ahead of the curve, whether in education or infrastructure. Those advantages went away at the same time as workers increasingly had less leverage because of changes in labor laws. You combine all that stuff and it's put workers in a tougher position. So some people who just control enormous amounts of wealth, we don't resent their success. On the other hand, just as a practical matter, you're going to have problems making sure that we're investing enough in the common good to be able to move forward.
Does this put us in a place long term where redistribution becomes, in a sense, a positive good in and of itself?
Well, that's always been the case, though. I don't think that's entirely new. I mean, the fact of the matter is that relative to our post-war history, taxes now are not particularly high or particularly progressive compared to what they were, say, in the late 50s or the 60s. There's always been this notion that for a country to thrive, there are some things, as Lincoln said, that we do better together than we can do for ourselves. Whether that's building roads or setting up effective power grids or making sure that we've got high quality public education and the teachers are paid enough. The market will not cover those things, and we've got to do them together. Basic research falls in that category. So that's always been true. I think that part of what's changed is that a lot of that burden for making sure that the pie was broadly shared took place before government even got involved. If you have stronger unions, then you had higher wages. If you had a corporate culture that felt a sense of place and commitment, so that the CEO, they felt a real affinity for the community to reinvest in that community and to be seen as a good corporate citizen. Today, what you have is quarterly earning reports. You have compensation levels for CEOs that are tied directly to those quarterly earnings. You've got international capital that is demanding short-term profits. And so what happens is that a lot of the distributional questions that used to be handled in the marketplace through decent wages or healthcare or defined benefit pension plans, those things all are eliminated. And the average employee, the average worker, doesn't feel any benefit.
If you ain't got no money, think you're broke.